Hello, what's going on, everybody? Young Fresh Global Travel here, coming to you from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Wanted to wanted to post a quick vid to let y'all know just a little update about what I think about Vietnam so far. Um, I really can't say. That's like, you know, a little coconut there. I really can't say. It's my long story short, only because I only have experience in Ho Chi Minh City, which hopefully you can see this. I'm just chilling in the park right now. This is the area. It's called District One. There's a lot of high class hotels around here. There's a JW Marriott, there's a Diamond Plaza Mall, pretty upscale. Um, I would say so far, my observation is, and I have to compare it, to my favorite country, which is the Philippines. If I had to compare it so far, okay, so far I would say I don't know if you could see those bikes over there. Those bikes you can rent. So I love the fact that I know a lot of people talk about taxis and Grabs, and Grabs is the equivalent of the Uber in America. They also have Grab in the Philippines as well. So those people in the green jackets, those are the Grab. But anyway, my favorite are those bikes. Those are e-bikes. You download it on your phone. Similar to the Philippines. Philippines has a Mover, Moovr, and Vietnam has their own. So, I would say a plus is if you're not comfortable with driving like me. I'm not comfortable with driving in Southeast Asia, right? But I am comfortable with riding an e-bike. So that's really one thing I don't really see a lot of people. Unfortunately, I don't see a lot of people riding them, but I love renting those. Those to me are better than even the scooters, because the scooters, you have a lot of more regulation with the scooters. For example, one of the things with the scooters that you could see is you're supposed to have a helmet on, so, and of course you got to stop at red lights, and when you have a bicycle, well, you really don't have to do those type of things, and you could kind of go up one-way roads. I'm not encourage y'all to do that, but I just feel like I could get around much easier in bikes. So first thing I will recommend, if you're in Ho Chi Minh City, try to find these bikes, and you can see there's some over here and also across the street as well. So there's a lot of bikes, and I don't know how most of you feel about riding bikes, but bikes is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So that's one of my first observations. So I really love that. I love they have many parks. They have many parks here in Ho Chi Minh that you could just basically chill and like just relax and just basically do what I'm doing. There's a couple over there shooting some videos. Everybody's just chilling. I love to just chill and people watch. Another observation that I'm seeing, and this is probably obvious to many of you who have not even been here, is Vietnam is I'm gonna lower my voice a little bit, but Vietnam is a communist country, basically, right? They're very communist here. Which is fine. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, so it's very, you don't want to really record, government buildings and all this other stuff. I kind of avoid all of that stuff. And another thing that I noticed is they do have a lot of laws. So what I actually did was I Googled laws that you should be familiar with in Vietnam. I just love knowing what the laws are, and guess what? I like following the laws. I don't come to a new country and just assume that, well, I'm from America, so, you know, if I'm from America, then, you know, the rules should be the same here as in America. That's not the way it is. One thing I will say is that I made a mistake by not buying a SIM card. Now, I have T-Mobile, which is usually, for example, when I go to the Philippines or if I'm in Japan and I use my phone, okay, T-Mobile works. You know, like my Wi-Fi, I could walk around and it just works. It just picks up a signal, and no, I don't get even, you know, charged for data roaming or any of that stuff. But what I noticed here in Vietnam is my T-Mobile does not work. So now I'm just taking this video for my camera, but what I've noticed is in Vietnam, the T-Mobile doesn't just pick up a random Wi-Fi and it works. Like the Philippines, I never have a problem with, you know, Wi-Fi at all. But here in Vietnam, in order for me to get Wi-Fi, I would have to go into, there's this coffee place. It's called Highlands Coffee. There's also Starbucks and stuff like that. So, and all of those coffee shops have Wi-Fi. And another fun fact that I've learned that I didn't know is actually Vietnam is the second largest exporter. They're the second largest exporter of coffee. You know, the coffee here is hella strong. I mean, it is very strong. That's just a fun fact. So they're the second largest coffee exporter. So for all you coffee lovers, if you come to Vietnam, you have to check out the coffee. I'm gonna try to go to a coffee spot and see if I could get some videos and stuff like that. I'm gonna get a coffee one that's well known, and then I'll just take a vid from there and share it with you guys. I'm just gonna film this couple because they look so romantic over there. Another fun fact that I learned is Vietnam is the #1 exporter in cashews, which is my favorite nuts. So pause. So when I leave, I'm gonna make sure that I get some cashews, and I'm gonna make sure I get some cashews and some coffee. I'm not really a coffee guy, unfortunately. I'm more of a tea person, but you know, since I'm here, you know, I definitely am gonna get some coffee, since it's actually known for that here. Vietnam is very, very strict with the visas. Like you can't just, like, similar to the Philippines, one of the things that I noticed about here is, yes, you can get a 90-day visa. You have to request it when you apply for it. It's $25. And I just applied online. And so anyway, after the 90 days, you know, you have to leave the country, basically. Like, you can't just stay here, you have to leave the country. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to leave the country and then come back. So in other words, if you go to like Cambodia or Malaysia or the Philippines, you can just come back the next day or even the same day. I believe it has to be 24 hours though. So that's something that honestly, it's just not visa friendly. I personally don't think so. I don't think, if I had to take a guess, it's because Vietnam doesn't really want foreigners living here for long periods of time. They basically just want you to come here, enjoy your vacation, and get the hell out. Which I'm not against that at all. But just wanted to really say, you know, they don't really want cats coming here and like, oh yeah, we're just gonna, you can come here for like a year or 2 years. Like I think the Philippines, you know, it's a maximum of 3 years, and then you have to leave the country, and then you have to come back. But anyway, those are just some random stuff that
I've noticed about Vietnam. Also, Airbnbs. Airbnbs are illegal here unless if the owner registers the unit. So the owner has to register the unit with the government. If they do not, then you could face penalties, actually. That's something that I learned. So anyway, so far, let me just talk about the food really quickly. And I'm actually going to do a review once I go to this one particular spot tomorrow. I'm going to do a lot of tourist stuff tomorrow. And I'm going to post that for you guys. But there's this food called pho. It's like soup. So the Filipinos, they would refer to it as sinigang. But here in Vietnam, they call it pho, P-H-O. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, so someone can correct me. But I love pho. I think it's amazing. It's like my favorite so far. Maybe because I just love soup. I also noticed that Vietnam has a lot of vegetables. A lot of their foods are vegetables. They have like a lot of vegetables, and I love that a lot. My second favorite food is banh mi. Banh mi, B-A-N-H, and then M-I, I believe. Banh mi is absolutely delicious. It is so good. So I'm actually gonna have to say the food here is amazing. And again, I've been trying to eat a little healthy and stuff. But if I had to compare it to other places that I have visited, Vietnam so far has like the best food. I think so. I mean, it's very healthy. Again, you have a lot of vegetables and it's at a reasonable price. There are fast food restaurants here, but not a lot. Like I've seen McDonald's, I've seen Jollibee. There's a Jollibee here. But even though there's a Jollibee here, I don't really see a lot of people going in it. I don't even see, like I see a lot of foreigners probably doing that. But if you come to Vietnam, you have to me, I think what's good is, the actual local food. Like I said, the banh mi and the pho. And one other thing quickly I wanted to mention is one other thing what was I gonna say? Just completely forgot about. Oh yeah, so the water here, you still can't drink the water. So I've been buying bottled water even to brush my teeth because I just don't trust the water here. And then that leads me to the purpose of me bringing up water is my doctor, and this is completely up to you guys. You don't have to do this recommendation, but any country that I go to, I email my doctor. I have a doctor, NYU Langone, and there's a portal that I could use, and I usually communicate with their office in New York. And I say, hey, is there any vaccines I should be taking while I'm in Vietnam? And yes, he did respond saying that I should take typhoid. I'm probably going to spell it wrong, but T-Y-P-H-O-I-D, typhoid. So I took a typhoid vaccine. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Hopefully that's helpful. Yes, I'm one of those people who have no problems with listening to recommendations from a doctor. And if my doctor says to take a vaccine, I'm going to do that. So, I'm not, but again, you don't have to, but just letting you guys know that it is recommended to take typhoid vaccine when you come into Vietnam. All right, well, I hope you guys found this video helpful. I would really appreciate it. One of my videos got 8,600 views. I appreciate that very much. It was about my remote jobs. I appreciate that. And all I really ask is if you really, found this video helpful, could you please give me a like? Can you please give me a subscribe? I would really appreciate it. I'm gonna finish this coconut water, and I'm gonna people watch for a little bit. And of course, I'm working remotely, so I am gonna sleep. It's about 12 p.m. now, so I am gonna sleep at 2 p.m. As most of y'all know, I sleep at 2 p.m. Usually, sometimes I sleep at 1 p.m. And then I wake up at 8:30 p.m. Vietnam is 11 hours in front of New York. So the Philippines, for example, is 12 hours ahead of New York. Vietnam is 11 hours ahead of New York. So basically, I'm going to make sure I wrap it up and I go to sleep at 2, and I'm going to wake up around 8:39, and then I log in from 9 p.m. and I log out at 6 a.m. So, today I logged out at 6 a.m. and I've been up for 6 hours. So it's basically midnight in New York, 11 o'clock in Vietnam. This is actually New York time, my bad. So it's actually 11:10 Vietnam. So yeah, life as a remote worker, every day, Monday through Saturday, I basically make sure that I go to sleep at between 1 and 2 p.m., which is 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning in New York. And I wake up at 9 p.m. or 8:45, which is 9 a.m. in New York. So I only need 6-7 hours. I don't know. Some people think, going to bed at 2 is too late. But to be honest, I could go to bed at 2. And as long as I wake up, if I get 7 hours, I am fine. So if I wake up at 8:50, which is usually the time I wake up, 8:50 or 9, that's 7 hours. So yes, I'm waking up, yes, I'm going to sleep at 2 a.m. in New York time here in Asia. But yeah, I'm still getting my 7 hours in. So, all right.
Once again, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment. I really want to hear the comments. I really want to see the comments. How do y'all feel about working remotely? If you ask me, I'm loving it. Straight up and down. I am loving working remotely. I am absolutely loving it. So next video is going to be a surprise where I'm actually going to be at. Take care, everybody.